Welcome back. This is Hope at Dawn. This being Hope TV, where you look and you live. Welcome to the second hour of the show. And of course, being a Tuesday, the segment that we are having is the One Day at a Time segment. And I know that you will be inspired, you will be challenged, you know, and indeed by the end of it all, you will be changed, you know, and your perspective will have changed on so many aspects. So karibu sana to the show. As always, loving your interactions, your comments, your tweets as well on our X platform. So go ahead and interact with us across those social media platforms. WhatsApp 0708222323, and our guest this morning, her name is Rose Mwaura, and we are talking about unlocking potential in special education, and that is what we are covering today. And a special guest because she handles children with special needs, children with disability, and so we will get to know about her life, how she got into it, her dreams growing up, how she found herself as a teacher caring for children with special needs. And so allow us to welcome on set our guest, Rose. Good morning.
Good morning to you.
How are you?
I am well this morning, and how about you?
We are doing fine.
doing well.
Blessed of the Lord.
Amen.
Thank you so very much for gracing our show this morning.
And thank you for having me today.
Karibu sana. Karibu sana. We usually say for you to be here this early on a weekday, it is a lot of sacrifice. And so we don't take it for granted.
Thank you.
Karibu sana.
Asante.
So allow us, for the purposes of someone who is meeting you for the very first time, we get to know who Rose is. So it's just a brief introduction of yourself.
Okay. So my name is Rose Wangare. I was born and brought up here in Kenya. My parents are Kenyan. So I've lived here all my life. And I am a teacher by profession. I actually didn't want to be a teacher, but circumstances around my family, my dad really wanted me to be a teacher. Personally, I wanted to be a journalist, but he couldn't hear any of that. He actually pushed me into being a teacher. It was not easy. It wasn't an easy journey because I was feeling what I was going to study as a teacher wasn't quite challenging me in what I really was looking forward to. But when I look back, I think maybe God or the Holy Spirit was speaking to my father, because if he hadn't pushed me to being a teacher, I wouldn't be here now talking about the teaching journey. Because I look back and I see it was a foundation that was laid very well, that I was rejecting, you know. But now with time, when I look back, I really appreciate that friction we had with my dad. And he said, you can't, you'll be a teacher, la, 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 you know that. But I'm grateful that today I'm so proud of calling myself a teacher. Actually, my Facebook page says Teacher Rose.
Teacher Rose.
Yes, and someone asked me, is it just you love calling yourself Teacher Rose on social media, or you are a teacher? I say, I am a teacher. So most teachers are not proud of being teachers. I said, I am proud to be one. That's why I have an account that says Teacher Rose, because then it's now my identity.
Picking up something that you have said, which I think is very important, is that we had discussed off here, and we had said that for you to be a teacher, actually, it's sort of like a calling. You know, and you now having even that page calling yourself Teacher Rose, it indeed signifies that you are proud of being a teacher as opposed to any other job, because not everyone, but especially modern teachers, they are just taking it as, you know, just another career, as opposed to a calling. And that's why we could be the reason why we are having challenges even in our schools.
True.
Because for me, I believe teachers, it's a calling.
It is.
So unajituma.
It is a calling. Because then you wouldn't just be looking at the fact that I am a teacher, I need to make money. I went to the university, I went to college, whatever level of education that you enrolled in and attained, some level of qualification. A lot of teachers out there actually are just, let me just do ni kazi tu kama kawaida, let me make money. So if they have a child who is not getting their understanding, or they are becoming a little bit nasty, they are behaving differently, they won't bother. They'll just put them aside. It's not my job, it's not my business. So wacha tu akuje amalize siku, you see. So if it's a calling, then this child behaving the way they are behaving, why aren't they understanding what I am teaching them? It's not like it's just a daycare where the child comes and plays with toys. No, it has to be deep in your heart that you love what you do, and you care about the learners that you, that, let's say, the parents have brought to you, yes, but also God has brought them to you. So what are you supposed to do with them? So yes, we want to make money. It's key to have the money, because then why did we go to school? But bottom line, what's your feeling? How do you feel about, by the end of the day, if you evaluate what you have done, do you think you have transformed a life? Are you happy that you have 40,000 shillings in your pocket, and you can level it out with what you have done for the month? You know? So there's all that.
All right.
That sadly,
Indeed, that can only be a calling, because, you know, I've had the privilege of having my mom being a teacher as well. So definitely I've seen the ups and downs of that, and, you know, just the impact that she has created. She would get calls even from some of her students saying, you really helped me. It's because of you that I'm where I am. So indeed, it's a noble job in itself, and it can only be a calling. But now there's being a teacher, and then there's being a special needs teacher, because now that's on a whole other level. Maybe you can talk to us about how you got into that. Was it something that came out of passion? How did you find yourself as a special needs teacher?
Okay, so my journey in teaching began now when I trained under now the then 844 system of education. And I was posted to work in Voi. I worked in Voi for some years. Then I came to Nairobi. I came to worked in Kiambu. Then I got into Nairobi. So while I was in Kiambu, I saw an advert that was looking for a teacher who has Waldorf qualifications. I had never heard about it, but out of curiosity, I was like, let me apply. So I applied, and I actually shortlisted for the interview. And when I appeared there, I found other people who had a little bit of an idea of what Waldorf is. And I thought to myself, should I listen to what they are saying, so that when I go to the panel, I can be able to answer? But I thought to myself, I would be lying to the panel. So let me just go. And when I go, I'll tell them, I know nothing about you. So when I went and I made my presentation, it was amazing, because then their way of teaching is different from how 844 does teaching. Because it's around creativity, art, music, movement, and all that. So when I went and they asked me, what do you know about Waldorf? I said, nothing. So how did you know about us? I said, I just saw your advert on the newspaper, and I was curious. So they actually took me in and employed me. And started training me on I started now taking the modules. And through the modules, they take you into really deep understanding of human psychology, what children should learn between 0 to 7 years, 7 to 14 years, 14 to 21 years, and just how the human body develops within now those Rubicons. And then now in my teaching, now as I was teaching in one of the Waldorf schools, there was a boy in my class who had cerebral palsy. He had a minder who came with him every day, but he was supposed to be integrated into what we were learning. And I would prepare now the working scheme for the term or for the whole year, and then the minder would pick up the topics that we have to do to simplify for him. But now we had what we call the rhythmic part. There's a rhythmic part that within the Waldorf circles you do between 8:30 to 10:30. So it's a 2-hour session. where you do speech work, you do morning verses, you do songs, you do movement, so that now you're involving the whole body into the learning. So we would do all that together with him, and then when now we have to do the content, then now the minder would now take him to another room and now do the same thing we are doing, but now at his level. So at the end of the year, we're supposed to do a play. And the play is for the particular play was for my class. So within the year, there is this class that does a play for the school. So it was our turn. And I have to look for lines for the boy who cannot speak. He's non-verbal.
Wow.
And while we are rehearsing, he's part of us. And then he has to take the cue. Like, it's your turn. So to this extent, he was able to synchronize that Gigi has spoken, Beatrice has spoken, now it's my turn. He would mumble whatever he did. And the day we were acting, no one prompted him.
No.
Wow.
And I said to myself, wait, there is something about these people, these special needs children, and I need to understand more. And actually, at that point is where now I really got now the interest to be able to understand how do they grasp concepts, how do they perceive what you're saying. I mean, like everything around what is happening, they can see, they can understand. So, but how? And so my journey began. First, I started now just interacting with the learners in school setting. I had to do a short course on music, basically, actually, because now I do a lot of teaching the special needs children through music, okay? And I really was interested in doing it through music because I loved music very much. And thank goodness, because in my training as a teacher, I did study music and kept growing it along the way. And now I have learners who are doing music, either singing or playing instruments. So that's where my journey began.
Wow.
And I am glad that it began. And I am glad I had that child in my class because it has also taught me something about myself that I didn't know. In our times, it was either when ni kichwa ngumu, hauelewi, you know, such. But it's because we had some challenges that we were not, our teachers were not exposed to, because then research has brought a lot of eye-opening, so that you now know it's not like mtoto ni kichwa ngumu, you know, like those children who are ever bottom five, anachapwa anarudia class, but nothing changing. But now we know it's not like ni kichwa ngumu. There's something beyond that we need to discover.
That's true.
Yes.
Listening to you, Rose, the different spectrums, you know, of the special needs, sounds like a lot of work, you know, just for one teacher, just like you have explained. How do you deal with the class when it's more than one student with special needs? How do you deal with it?
Okay, it's not easy. Let me say that it's not easy because one child is something enough. You see, it's like let me now just call it a task, but it's a challenge enough having just one such child in your class. Okay, now if you have more, it is overwhelming. But most of the times in institutions that like handle only children with special needs, they have like the ratio of one child, one teacher. In the event where a child has been integrated into a school where we have regular students, it's now another challenge because they have come to meet a teacher who is not a special needs teacher.
Right.
This special needs teacher is overwhelmed because they have like other, let's even say like other 10 children who need her or his attention, and there's this one who is screaming at a corner. Because yes, they still need your attention. Because what I have discovered is what our needs are, it's the same needs they have. The difficulty in being able to express themselves and say, I'd like to go to the bathroom. I need some water to drink. That's when now they have a meltdown. They scream because it's like, why are you not understanding? So now imagine this teacher who has this child screaming in class and 10 others who need her attention, and she has no idea what to do with this particular one. It becomes a big challenge. So what some of the schools are doing is have a special needs teacher in the grounds, okay? So that they can come into the different classes where the special needs children have been integrated, and then they can advise the teacher. So because then when they scream, it also now affects the other children, because they don't understand, why are you screaming? Then the other children might think it's a cool thing to scream, okay? So they might decide never to talk to the teacher and also be screaming. So there are so many dynamics of being able to intervene, but if the teacher can find out or just talk to the people who are doing the special needs, much as they haven't done the study, the fact that they are a teacher and they have been taught how to control a class or manage a class setting, it would be possible to be able to even to integrate that child. But before they get there, it's not easy. It's not easy because sometimes some people or some teachers are forced to intimidate this child. Ketty, like, and then they have like a ruler, a cane or something, just anything that the child fears. So that now when they lift it up, the child just goes quiet. But with that, now you're even causing the child to be more closed in, because now you're bringing another trauma on this child. Already they can't tell you what they want or how they are feeling. So whatever little they were trying to tell you, now you have closed it in. So it becomes even harder for the teacher. But by the fact that now the regular teachers are not equipped to handle the special needs children, it becomes very difficult for them to even attain anything. Yes.
Wow, that's quite a lot.
Yes.
Indeed, it's like on a daily basis, there's just a lot that is involved. And maybe you can just take us through a day as a special needs teacher. What does it entail? The ups, the downs, the wins, the happy moments, the sad moments. Take us through what a typical day would look like for you.
Okay, so on a typical day, when you wake up, you know the schedule for the day, because now it's not every day you're meeting the same student, depending on now the engagement you have with this learner.
Right.
So when you wake up, you know your program, you know your schedule. So today I'm going to meet so and so, so and so, so and so, so, whether they are within a school setting or at home. So then you have your program laid out. I know I have been doing, let's say for instance, I've been doing recognition of color, maybe. So I already have set up, I know, let's just use random names. I know for Lucy, we are doing color. I know for Joseph, we are learning maybe piano. So we've just been trying finger one. And now we are moving on from finger one with a sticker. We are going to remove the sticker today. So you first have your plan as per the engagements. I plan as per the engagements I have.
Okay.
So for every child, because I'm not now meeting them all in a room. But where we meet together, because as I said, I now specialize, because there is a lot of specialization. You can choose what you want to specialize as a special needs teacher. So for me, I've picked a specialization in music. So there are times I have a group. The children are sitting together with the teachers, now the regular teachers in the school. We sit and we sing together. So any moment you go to a school and you find like there's a difference in the child. Like the previous lesson, they looked a bit calmed down. And today they are all over the place. We also work together now with the regular teachers, or maybe if there's a caregiver who has come with the child to school, so that you find out how were they when they woke up, okay? How were they last night by the time they were going to sleep? What did they have for breakfast? Are they feeling okay? Because then that way you're able to give the much they can take within that time when maybe they have a meltdown.
Right.
If you do not have any concern, I just go pick the child from the class and we go now to the special room where we have our music therapy and we do our session. And then I'll take the child back. If the child is new, like we haven't met before, so the regular teacher will come with the child because then you're a stranger, so and you don't have a rapport already, so you bring in the child. But because of the experiences that I've had with time, I always ask the teacher, allow me to go with the child, okay? Because now at least I know what to do, how to have them sit down, have to have them ready for their session. But if now it goes offhand, I will again walk back with the child back to the teacher, and I'll tell the teacher, okay, we haven't managed anything yet. Maybe you can come with us. Because now they feel safe around someone they know. So maybe day one I come, the teacher will come with me. Then maybe the next, as we progress, now I can go take the child from class, take them to the therapy room, and now we do our session. So you have to be aware of the changes, the slight changes in behavior or responses. You have to be really awake, so that when you see it, you can ask. Sometimes it might, for girls who are teenagers and all that, and they're having their periods. And if they have cramps, they can't tell you, but it can be a difficult moment for you to teach because they are crying and you don't know why they are crying. So you have to again find out, why do you think they are crying? Then you are told, okay, it's that time of day. And just see what you can do. So if it's beyond and they have completely refused to comply, you can't force them, because then they will get agitated and they have their meltdown moments. They can become aggressive. So you also need, you as a caregiver or a teacher, you also need to be careful. When they show signs of what we call stimming or getting agitated, then you just hold back and you let the moment go. If you prompt them again to take your instructions and again it flares, then you can't force. Because if you do force, then the reaction would be either they scratch you or they bite you or they kick things around, they break things. And you don't want to get them to that point, because they can also injure themselves. Yes.
In studio this morning, we are hosting Teacher Rose, and we are talking about unlocking the potential in special education. That is the conversation we are having this morning. Any query, any question you could be having, get in touch with us across our social media platforms. We are live as well on our YouTube channel, so you can share that link as well. We are taking a short commercial break, and then we are coming back to continue with the conversation. This is One Day at a Time.
Beautiful. We are cruising on very well, and would love to encourage you to send in any questions that you may have. Remember, our topic today is unlocking potential in special education, and we have Rose Wangari, who is a special needs teacher and also founder Zion House Therapies. We're going to just even get deeper and just continue diving into this conversation. But if you have any questions that you may have regarding this conversation, please do send it our way. We would love to attend to them. And maybe Rose, you can just help us now to get to the point whereby we hear a testimony or more of a story, that you've experienced in your journey so far. Is there a particular child, not mentioning their names or anything, but that you journeyed with and have seen great progress, from them?
Okay. In the special needs circles, because even on the regular circles, I've had stories, wonderful stories, but because today we are looking at special needs, I'll go that direction. So because I do interact with different schools, and when children sign up, or the parents sign up for their children for different activities, while you're at the activity, then you realize, okay, I think this child is getting, they are not getting it. Like, move to the right, they're staring at you. Move to the left, they're just staring at you. To this extent, okay, help them now. Okay, now move. Lift, place. So I had one such child, and every time she would just, wiggle her hands into her face. She has such a lovely smile, but nothing was working. And I thought to myself, I think I would now, when I observe that, I engage the school management and I let them know I am concerned about this child. Can you tell me something more about her? So there was this girl, now the one I was telling you, we were doing actually a movement, an activity that involved movement. And she did not get it at all, even lifting up her hands. She did not understand what is lifting hands. Okay, but high five, you would have to coax her I don't know how many times for her to give you a high five. So I talked to the management of the school and advised if they could just pick her for an assessment. But now the parents used to take her for assessment to a regular doctor. A regular doctor will diagnose whatever diseases, but there are specialized doctors who are able to make assessment and advise the parent what area of the spectrum the child is in. And they kept taking her to a regular doctor, and the doctor wouldn't find anything. So I just had now a meeting with the mother, and I encouraged her, okay, it is possible, just give it a try. Try involving a special needs teacher. But now she didn't want to do it like what we call homeschooling. She wanted the child to be within a school. So I remember there's a school I know that had, it's a regular school but has a special unit. And so I recommended her to take the child there. And they did take the child there. So I made follow-up. And by the time, I think maybe about last 2023, she could now talk, she could read. At least now the fear that was in her, because I think at home she may probably have been being intimidated because her younger brother was doing better than her in school. And that's until the point where now the mother accepted that the child needed such kind of help. That is when now the transformation happened. So now the girl can read, the girl can write, and the girl can express herself. I have another one. She can speak, but not coherently. Okay, one word after, maybe you keep coaxing her, say like, "Good morning, Jane." She will look around. Good morning, Rose. Something like that. But when she sits on the piano, she plays and sings.
Wow.
The lyrics are clear. You can hear what she is saying. Her fingers are moving well. So she's singing and playing at the same time. She's one of our students. But now when you sit to have a conversation, it's a different story altogether. So when I see now those two, among others, I'm like, wow, so this can happen. There's even a boy nowadays, he plays chords on keys, chords, chords, and he's combining chords and a bit of melody. So, I mean, when you see that, you're like, oh, it's very, very fulfilling. When you look back at the journey, there's a boy, he had some bit of cerebral palsy. It wasn't acute, but you could tell because he didn't have control of his hands. And when he walked, I think within himself, he thought he's walking on a straight line, but he used to go diagonally. So our intervention came in when we put him on drums. So now the grip, so it helps with the muscle, the fingers, the dynamics, the joints and all that. And then also now the feet, because now when you play drums, you have to play right, left, and then the hands, the coordination and the combination. Today, if you see me walking with him, he just walks just the way James Gishuru, I mean, Gigi would walk, George Gishuru. We are walking just together, and you wouldn't even, and his hands are down. So we have those success stories and many, many more. And we are happy that there's transformation that happened.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen.
Yes.
Rose, if you talk to us about now listening to you and all, you have been to a regular school and also now special schools.
Yes.
What's the status? Let's talk about the status of special education, especially in Kenya, and how it's, I don't know, how it's unfolding.
Okay. Currently we are having a lot of children within the spectrum. It's like, almost like, woof, what's going on, you know? And they are all over, okay? So now, within the public schools, it's a sad state. Because first, the parents have brought them there. Number one, maybe they cannot afford other interventions,
Right.
And the child needs to learn, but how now? Because like now in the public schools, the population of the children in a class are so many.
True.
Then the teachers in the school are not able to diagnose what is this, is this child really suffering from something? Because some of them have mental disorders. Some of them have hearing impairment or visual impairment. Some of them need ADHD. And so the teacher just combines everything. Mtoto ni special. So they are not equipped to manage the children within the public schools. Not to say within the private schools that even those teachers are, but the thing is now within the private schools, the private schools are able to hire a special teacher who can be able to help the other regular teachers. Okay, but now we have other schools where we have they're just dealing with special needs, and they have now different therapists coming in. So you can take your child there where they can do all therapies, occupational therapy, speech therapy, music therapy, aqua therapy, equine therapy. You know, there are all those therapies that are available. But since in society we are at different levels, you can only place your child where you can afford. So we have a group of special needs children who are disadvantaged. Some are just at home. The parent doesn't even know what to do. So even when they come to school and they are frustrated, they are just crying. The teacher will tell the parent, you keep the child at home. Akae tu nyumbani, hashiki nini. So it's a sad bit. But there's always hope. There's always hope. I would really encourage even the teachers within the regular schools, if they can just find time to understand what special needs is, they will be in a better position, even for themselves, so that they are not getting frustrated when they interact with these children.
Yeah.
Yes, I hope I have answered your
Yeah,
question.
you have.
Absolutely.
Yes, you have.
Yeah, and I believe in such a space, then, it's only necessary to take it a day at a time.
Yes.
Because of the ups and downs.
Yes.
So maybe there are some really difficult moments that maybe you felt like giving up, or maybe not giving up, but how do you, take it a day at a time, even through those hard and unpredictable, times?
So I only speak out of experience.
Yes.
So I had this child who's dyslexic, and the parent, when the parent engaged me to work with the child, she never told me that the child has any challenge. And I told her, we started now the sessions, I told her, there's something I need to discover about your child, and when I discover, I'll let you know. Because now I was feeling, am I going to place this one? Is it ADHD? Is it because the child doesn't have hearing problems or anything?
Yeah.
So I'm like, So with time, then I discovered this child is dyslexic. And I sent a message to the mother and I told her, I have discovered what it is with your child. Your child is dyslexic, and she did not say anything. So I was like, okay, is it that she was aware or she wasn't aware? So with dyslexic, keeping content is difficult, like you spell a word just now. And the same word, you ask them now to write it now on a different page. It's how now? They want to check back. So I kept, because then there are simple words that we could write, and then if I flipped the page and gave a clean page, they would write. Remember, I am a teacher by profession, so I also do learning support. So they would flip back and I would say, now, write the same word. Then they could write. So then I would say, okay, then let's try and keep words that sound like this word. And then when I leave, I would leave homework. And I tell I always like take a picture or a video and I send it to the parent. So I take a picture, I send, and I say, please don't help the child. Allow them time to think through. Okay? And I kept repeating, don't help the child, and the parent would say, okay. Now I would come, the day I'm going back to the house, I would get a text message. We helped. Then I would come home and I would ask the child, let me see your homework. And I would see the homework and they say, then I tell them, someone helped you? Then they say, no, someone did help. I say, someone helped you. I know. Then the child would go, how do you know? I said, I just know. Me and you are friends. So even when I'm away, I know everything about you. Then they'd go, yes, either my dad or my mom helped me. So we kept going like that. So we'd make progress. And when we are at a point where we're almost saying, yeah, we made it, then we drop. At that point, I felt like, I love this child so much. I'm so concerned that they are not moving, not because they can't, but because now they got to know when I leave, someone can help. Continue like that. And that was the time I was like, is it me who is not doing the right thing? Or am I in the wrong place? Am I doing the wrong thing? Should I just forget about this thing and just focus? I go back to the regulars. Because then that one is almost easy. But I didn't give up. I am, okay. I'm still hoping that one day the mother and the father will let go and let the child be. Because by that, when they let go and let the child be, then the child will know. I'm now all by myself and I need to hack this. They can. I can tell you, they can. The fears we have as parents and wanting to just keep holding their hands and walking with them, I mean, it must come to that point where you just let go.
Let go,
And just like the way when your child is learning how to walk, You hold their hand, and at a point you let go.
Yeah.
So they also need to know there's a time to hold and a time to let go. Because there are special needs children now, they are doing amazing things just because the parent accepted and let them walk by themselves.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah. And Rose, most of us, a question here, feel scared of dealing with special needs children. And we always, avoid dealing with such, especially when they are not our kids, relatives and all. What do we do, to engage with such children? Because it's a case of we are just ignoring, but it's happening. It's there. Yeah.
It is there. Actually, I know, like my brother asked me, my own brother, he said, "You're the weirdest person in this family." I asked him how.
Oh, yeah.
I said, "How are you able to embrace these children?" Because he can't, like how now, there's one is drooling. How do you stand watching a child drooling?
Yeah.
They have sneezed, they can't clean the nose, all that. How do you do that? First, I believe in godliness. It all starts with acknowledging that what God created is beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, we are all fearfully and wonderfully made.
Yeah.
The minute that gets into your system, then you can deal with anyone because you have to accept people as they are.
Yeah.
And also, it also comes with self-acceptance. We all have our own small failures, challenges in life. We are not all perfect. But once soul searching, and also asking God to help you.
Yeah.
Because for me, actually, when I wake up in the morning, I wake up and tell God, I don't have the wisdom to go about what I need to do, because every day is not the same for a special needs child.
Yeah.
Today your lesson is excellent, the response, oh my, you even go home with a big smile. Tomorrow it becomes so difficult and you're wondering the disparities between yesterday and today. So society needs to know that other than these children not being able to express themselves like regular children, they are just like us. Okay?
Yeah.
Their developments are the same. The emotions are the same. It's just now the neurodevelopmental challenges they have. Because they grow, they are not stunted.
No.
They grow tall, they put on weight, they have now those experiences, puberty and all that. So the fact that they can't talk doesn't make them like you can't trash them. You can't trash them. We must learn to embrace, and it starts with ourselves. Accept yourself, because like for me, I think I have a condition that I have come to discover by engaging now with these special children. Yes. Because if I'm saving someone's name on the phone, I sometimes find myself now switching letters, especially if they are the vowels following each other, they will get mixed up. And I did that for a while until my children were like, but you have saved this not the right way, you have saved this not the right way. And then I also discovered now, like, I went back to my days in high school where I loved reading, like when we are doing fasihi or literature, those set books. And every time I usually was the first to put up my hand to read. And I used to read and everyone is laughing. So I don't know why they are laughing. Kumbe, I have skipped lines and skipped words. Is what I came to realize later. It's called dyscalculia. It's like an opposite of dyslexia. Okay, and it's through this interaction with special needs children that I've also come to discover I have done the same thing. Oh, self-discovery is also very important so that we can also be able to now interact. But society, I beg of you, please embrace these children. They are our children and they are not here by mistake. God had a purpose for them to be born because he knows they are able, and we have been placed here for them. So let's just embrace them. Let's work with them. Just ask God to help you, because I know there are people who, if you see the mucus, you might get nauseated and all that. But God gives us the grace to handle. So listeners, and people watching online, just love them. Just love them. Start with love, and you will see how other things will unfold. Yes.
Awesome.
That's amazing. I mean, I think there's just one more thing I would love for you to address before we call it a day. And yeah, that's on the parents, because you did mention the support that you wished you would have gotten, especially with this particular child who you just wanted them to be able to do it on their own, but then parents would now come in the way, because maybe they feel like the child is struggling and they're like, acha tu nimsaidie, you know. I think I can understand maybe where they could be. But what would you tell parents in terms of, you know, just giving teachers like you the support that you need?
Okay. First, parents, accept the fact that your child needs help. And to accept that your child is not like the regular child, and don't compare this child with the other, because sometimes we find if the older one is the one who has a challenge and the younger one is moving on, so they will do comparisons. Please don't compare your child with the other child. You know, even twins are not exactly identical.
That's true.
Much as we say, oh, these are identical twins, they are not quite identical. So please don't compare that. Allow yourself also to be taught on how to handle the child, because we have workshops that sometimes are hosted by the different schools where they keep the special needs children. Sometimes it's workshops hosted by churches or other organizations to equip parents on how to handle the special needs children in their homes. So if such a program comes up, please attend. And then again, where if your child attends school, have a close relationship with the teacher who is working with your child, so that you can ask questions. If this happens, what should I do? If this happens, what should I do? If the teacher gives homework and the child comes home and struggles with it, just send a note back to the teacher and let the teacher know, my child was not able to do this homework. Could you please help, or could you please advise why this might have happened? Okay, then allow the child to explore, even at home. Give them small tasks, like take your plate to the kitchen. Okay, wash your plate. You know, those small tasks. Okay, put on your shoes. Okay, spread your bed. You know, you do it with them together once, you do it again another time, and they will learn. Even parents, be patient with your child, because they don't learn at the same speed. Let me say, their learning is a little slow, so give them time to learn. Just be patient, because it is possible for them to learn. So parents, just have peace in your heart that it is possible for your child to learn, but allow the teachers to work with the children. Open yourself up to possibilities and ideas that come, and accept them, and also do your own research if you can. There is a lot of research that has been done. Just go online, Google, whatever. You will be able to find a lot of reading, a lot of practical examples. But while you engage in that, also know what condition your child has, so that then you're not getting the information and then you're coming to implement it on your child, and it's the wrong one. So first get to know what kind of intervention your child needs, then now you work toward it with the help of the teachers and others. Yes.
Right. Thank you to our viewers also who are watching us this morning. I see Joy Olivia tuned in. Rose Njoroge, thumbs up, Teacher Rose, and asking for Teacher Rose's contacts. Thank you, Rose. Njoroge. I also see Waithera, good job, Rose. And John Chasia is following us as well. So thank you so very much as well. We have to call it a day because of time. There's far much spent, and so maybe someone is even asking for your contacts. I don't know if you can be able to share how they can be able, someone wants to get in touch with you, how can they be able to do so? Good.
I'm based in Nairobi. I work as a part-time teacher.
Okay.
My contact is 0723 791 225. It's both my regular number, it's also my WhatsApp number.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes.
Right.
Beautiful.
Rose, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Indeed,
Thank you so much.
It's a calling, as we said from the onset of our conversation.
Yeah.
And the many things that you are doing with these kids, both regular and also special needs. Thank you so very much. And all we can pray for is God's grace, that He may continue also to renew and refresh you as well, even as you are doing the same to those very important kids in our midst. So thank you. Thank you so very much.
Welcome. Maybe one thing before I leave.
Okay.
Yes, sure.
I would like to ask the curriculum developers if they could consider, as part of their syllabus, to include special needs studies for the regular teachers, those who opt not to take the special needs, so that we have now teachers equipped in the regular schools.
The regular schools.
Yes. So the curriculum developers can consider that. That's my prayer.
Yeah.
Yes.
Wow.
It shall be done in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Yeah,
Amen.
I think you're actually not the only one who has mentioned that. We had a guest previously who also, brought that out, and the importance of that, because I think there are in some cases where even children with special needs are taken to the regular schools. So definitely there's a gap right there. Yeah.
And someone is asking if we have agencies that assess children with special needs. Yes,
we do. Sometimes we have the agencies. Sometimes we also have the special needs teachers who are able to do that for you. If it's within a docket, they are not able, then I can make reference to an agency. Yes, they are there.
All right, beautiful. Well, we've come to the end of this show, sadly, but this has been so good, refreshing. Thank you so much, Teacher Rose. May God continue to bless you, and indeed, may grace be multiplied unto you even as you serve. I believe this is a kind of ministry because you are taking care of children that not many are comfortable to do. So definitely it's a big calling and it's a ministry, and we are glad to have had you today to open our eyes to the challenges and also just what it's about. So please send our greetings to your people.
I will send our greetings to them.
Yes.
They have even, some of them made me learn sign language because they can't talk. They talk to me in sign language.
Yes.
Yeah, so I will say hello to them. Thank you so much for having me in your studio today. It's quite amazing. We are there for our children, our parents, and for the society.
Yes.
Yes.
Amen.
Absolutely.
Thank you so very much. Also, we wish you a blessed and a fruitful day ahead, taking it one day at a time. My name is George Gishoro.
And my name is Beatrice Nudi. We'll see you guys tomorrow on The Christian Walk. Have a blessed day.